So I invite you all to take a trip through time with me. All the way back to a time where the Dow Jones was still at 14,000. The time where consumer consumption was at its peak, all the way back to 2007. So at this point, a family that I'd like to introduce you all to, the Smiths, they already had a rooted tradition of taking an RV trip every single summer. They would go to places like Yosemite and see those granite mountainsides and the sun shining off of it. They would go to Yellowstone, see exactly how faithful Old Faithful was. And they'd go to Mount Rushmore and gaze into our founding fathers' eyes. But at some point, the future, after that summer, and they noticed this before, by the way, the price of gas started to climb. It started to climb to a point where they couldn't afford to take those RV trips anymore. They couldn't afford to do the thing that they loved. And this got them asking, how can we get those prices of gasoline down? So it turns out that there are a few alternatives to this. Okay, either you can increase the supply of crude oil, or you can go into a mode of energy that's completely different. As you all know, we have possibility of electricity, we have the possibility of hydrogen, solar, and those sort of things. However, what those require, even if we consider the R&D 100% complete for those modes of energy, it requires a complete change in infrastructure of the world. So right now, the world and the United States is completely set up to run off of oil. So if we try to switch to hydrogen or electricity, even if electricity is off of nuclear, then we still have to spend over a couple $1 trillion to try to change the infrastructure. And that's from a University of Chicago study. So that begs the question, what sort of energy alternatives are there out there that can actually take advantage of the infrastructure that we actually have while still trying to fix the environment? So, recently, I had the pleasure and the opportunity to have lunch with a man by the name of Jason Pyle. He's the founder and CEO of a company called Sapphire Energy. And what Sapphire Energy does is that they are trying to grow crude oil. They are trying to grow crude oil. And now the way that these companies do this is that they use biotechnology, what's called industrial biotechnology, to genetically engineer algae to actually be able to produce the crude oil. And what you can do with that is, after this algae, it grows in either salt water, fresh water, whatever, and they are actually able to extract this at a fairly cost-effective mode right now and refine it into jet fuel, car fuel, whatever. And what this does is that it allows us to create fuel that also lowers our carbon imprint by allowing us to actually take advantage of the fact that we can use the oil from the algae. So the reason that's able to reduce our carbon imprint is because in order to grow algae, it takes carbon dioxide. And in order to use that fuel, you have to burn it. So it releases some, but it's actually a negative impact on the environment in total. And so the main, so now we're faced with basically two things, okay? So either the United States, and the world as a whole can try to embrace new technologies such as hydrogen or electricity, or they can try to embrace technology that already takes advantage of what we already have. Now, granted, none of these technologies are set in stone yet, but the thing is that we have to take advantage of the things that our economy is most set up for. So I ask the question, what would benefit the Smiths the most? And what would benefit us the most? And the world the most? What would benefit China the most? What would benefit India the most? Because these are the countries and the continents and the areas of the world that we most have to worry about if we want to improve the environment, if we want to take advantage of the technological innovations that we currently have. So what is the best for the Smiths? Next time you hear the news talk about alternative energies, you all ask that question to yourselves and ask, is an alternative energy the best? Or is an alternative to the alternative the better option? Madam Toaster.